Hello, today we are going to take a look at UberChic Beauty Collection 13. This is the most recent in the UberChic Beauty collections. This has all of the cool stuff that you've come to expect from UberChic Beauty's collection plates. So flowers and geometrics and some negative space images and some positive space images and some images that are enlargements or insets of other images. And now one of the things she's been doing lately has been putting in layering images. So anytime you see this little arrow there, that means that this is meant to be layered over this. So for example, you can stamp these leaves in green and then go in pink and stamp your roses on top. All right, let's take a look. So here you've got two offsetting paisleys that you can stamp negative and positive. Gypsy Soul, I love that. I kind of feel like I have a gypsy soul, like a little bit of wanderlust. Some beautiful flowers that look a little bit like a combination of sunflowers and cabbage roses with this pretty hand-drawn feel. I'm not quite sure what to call this, but it's kind of like scroll work and filigree, but it's got a kind of a graphic modern feel to it. And I love how you can play around with that. It's almost reminiscent of peacock feathers, and then you can, offset with a closer up one, so you can play around with those. This to me right now, because we're coming up to the holidays, looks like a snowflake, but it could be a whole bunch of different things. It could even just be the coolest half moon Manny kind of thing ever. Beautiful geometrics, and again, I like that she does things like give you the bigger and the smaller, so you can play around with that. Easiest Manny's in the world. Here's a rose to go here with this print, so if you want a bigger rose, or on just one nail you want that kind of an image. And then here's a negative one too, so she's really playing around with all of these different possibilities to give you a lot of design flexibility. And then I like here too that she's changed up the direction of the center, so you can get a whole bunch of different looks from this on different nails that are all complementary but all a little bit different. This is really cool. This is like a diamond pattern, but it's rounded, so it almost has a baskety weave kind of feel to it, like a mesh feel to it. Love it, and a little bit of scroll work there, and your matching scroll work there. And there are a lot of flowers in this that make me think of sunflowers that have a sunflowery feel. Another layering image here. We've got the little arrow there. So like maybe your base polish is white, and then you've got light blue and then dark blue. So then your white is going to show through, and then your little centers are going to be light blue, and then you're going to have dark blue on top of it all. Here's another one of those beautiful sunflowers that I think are just so pretty. And you could play around with, stamping this in yellow and then like lead lighting over it in a red or an orange, or playing around with that. You could play around maybe with Sharpies and do something cool with that too. Pretty lace work that actually goes right along with that. That is just a smaller version of that, so you can play around with those. Give me some lovin'. We always want lovin'. Hearts on a string, very sweet, so very delicate. And then you could pair this with flowers or with a bigger heart or a bunch of different stuff to play around with that. But you could just use it on its own, of course, but I think this is beautiful as background texture. Just a real sweet little flowery pattern. This would be great for the Sharpie technique, or stamping a solid color over like a smooshy background. Beautiful kind of like pansy flowers here that you could go in and color or just stamp as is. And then you've got your little isolated flower guide to go with that. And then some more geometrics. So you've got your circles, and here you've got a very linear feel. Think about, how cool does that look coming off your nail? So cute. Okay, so that's plate 1301. 1302, we've got, everything is making me think of suns or sunflowers, but this is almost more like a stylized chrysanthemum, but very pretty. And it goes with this little one here, and it goes with this one here, and then the negative space. So you've got a bunch of negative space to play around with cool glitters or hollows or however you want to do that, and you can mix and match with those. Some lines, those are really thick lines. So I've seen similar images, but the lines have been, like thinner. This to me, again, I think it's because of the holidays, but this makes me think of like poinsettias, and how pretty would that be in reds and golds, and just gorgeous. And then this beautiful diamond here, and I don't sweat, I sparkle. No, I sweat. Personally, I'm just gonna tell it like it is. I sweat. I wish I sparkled, but I don't. Here's another cute layering image. So So you could have your base polish in white, and then you could stamp that like in red and that in black and get this cool graphic feel. And look at all the different sizes of the diamonds to play around with, and then a negative version of a diamond. So you can have, if you want a Skittle manicure, but you want all gemstones, you've got all your different things there to do that. Pretty flower. And then a little like string of beads, another little string of beads down there, so like you could play around with the gemstones and the strings of beads. Diamond in the rough to go with all of your diamond needs. Cute little cupcake, and then we've got this negative space full nail image to go along with that. Polished rock star. This with kind of loops, and then, is this layering? Yep. So you can stamp this and then stamp this over in a different color, and you're going to get that really cool mosaic feel. A negative space of the lacy kind of design. I love this with like the gorgeous flowers in a sea pod thing. Depending on the colors you do this with, it could look like leaves or it could look like any kind of flower you want. Just really pretty. And then more of this diamond geometric. You've got the close-up here, you've got the farther out image here, let things shine through. I actually think this would go really well with these as well. So then this is a close-up here, but also at a different angle. So with it straight up and down like that, it looks like one of those kind of Art Nouveau-y sorts of patterns, and you can play around and mix and match your sizes and shapes there. Go beyond. And then another one that kind of reminds me of like a sun or a sunflower, and then some pretty wavy curls for you to play around with. Okay, let's look at 1303. Now, and you see why I'm talking about this. So this is like a spirograph sunflower. I love that. And just how cool would that be coming off either a French tip like that, or coming off like that, and then maybe having like one just full nail image like that, and the rest either coming off the French tip or off the half moon. And then you've got a littler one to go along with it, heart and soul. And then this beautiful like pansy with all of these little, I never know what those are called, but I'm just going to call them the little filaments. They're little filaments, they're coming off. And then that of course goes with this, and you've got this negative space. Again, you can play around with pretty glitters and things that you show underneath there. Little kind of a layered flower image that you can play around with. Pick one or two out, color them in, leave the rest uncolored or something like that. Cute little interlinked image. We've got some stylized links that are going to match this full nail image down here. This is sort of like an offset of that. This reminds me of a ball of yarn that's come, undone in the middle of your floor. So if you like knitting or crocheting or anything like that, that could be some cute background texture. I love this, letting I have a yellowish mustard kind of hollow. That would be beautiful. Stamp, having something else like a brown stamped on top of that. Gorgeous. And then of course that goes along with that. And I love this combination of berries and these poofy flowers that have like the filaments. Again, my mind is on the holidays, so I see holly berries or mistletoe, and you can play around with that and give it a sci-fi feel. And there's your little isolated one to go along with it. Again, this is layered, so this can go inside that, so you could stamp this in like, say, let's say you want to stamp this like in green and that like in pink or something, or purple. And so you can have those color combinations going in, but get that hive sort of look. And see this one, because the arrow is going down here, this is supposed to be stamped then on top of that. So, you can play with 3 different colors there. And then she's got this matching one here, because this is what that's going to look like when that's layered, except for here you're only going to get one color. And then of course we have our isolated one to go along with that, so play around with that. Here, if you like your flowers to have different colors, this is a layering one where you stamp the bigger parts in one color, maybe like, let's say red, and then here you stamp in pink over it. And then you've got your isolated one to go along with that, and then you've got just this plain negative space image to go along with those, so you can play around with all different color combinations and all that kind of stuff. And then look at this with the cubes, the 3-dimensional cubes. I love that. I've seen a lot of cube manicures that are kind of like 3D checks. That's cool, like it's coming out, exploding at you. And this is definitely, in my opinion, everything today is a sunflower, but look at how pretty that is. And then you've got this here that goes way up here with these. And then you've got this bigger set of these flowers that this goes along with. So in terms of size, these are the same as UberChic Beauty's other full nail images. So just under 3/4 of an inch wide and 7/8 of an inch tall. And then a quick shot here so you can get a look at those other ones, how big they are. And then a quick look there for those. And of course I will have shots of these all up on my blog. And I am going to do one quick overall full shot for you. And from now on, what I'm going to do is I am going to just put the time in the bottom. So for people who just want to be able to get straight to a shot of the full plate, you can just skip right to that. And there you go. There's all three. All right, let's test them out. Okay, for my stamping test, I'm going to use Sally Hansen Insta-Dri in Navy Fleet. And I'm going to use my clear stamper and scraper. Great pickup. Excellent transfer. Great pickup. And excellent transfer. It's a pretty good transfer. When I went over it a little bit quick. Excellent pickup. All right, I'm doing this at a wonky angle, so wasn't as precise around the edges, but you can see how cool that looks. A really cool layered image. All right, let's look at 1302. Excellent transfer. Okay, that was excellent pickup. That's excellent transfer. Great pickup. Awesome transfer. Gorgeous. Gorgeous pickup. Gorgeous transfer. You could tell I wasn't being careful about direction, but the transfer is beautiful. And then finally 1303. Gorgeous pickup. And gorgeous transfer. Gorgeous pickup. Transfer. Gorgeous pickup. Gorgeous transfer. I hardly ever swatch the words for you, so there you go. So excellent quality. They stamp well, so I will link everything down below, and thanks for watching.